Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to draw a picture inspired by the book Pete the Cat and the Cool Caterpillar. And I think this is a perfect project for spring. To do this project, you're going to need a piece of paper, something to write and draw with, and crayons for coloring. Let's get started. To draw Pete the Cat, I'm going to start near the top of my paper and I'm going to make a flattened rainbow line. At the ends of those flattened rainbow lines, I'm going to make slanted lines that come up on both sides. Then I'm going to slant those lines down, and they're going to come down a little further than where I started. And if you turn the paper a little bit, you'll see that you're going to make a little flattened smile line that stops short. I turn the paper the other way. I make another flattened smile line that stops short, and I'm leaving some space right in between. From that opening that I left, I'm going to make lines that slant down and fan out just a little bit. So I start then and just go out to the side just a little bit, and I stop short of the bottom of the paper. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I come in and fan out just a little bit, stopping short of the bottom of the paper. At the bottom of the paper, I'm going to make a curved shape. This is going to be Pete's paw. So it starts out like a C, or like I'm drawing a circle, and then it stops short before I get out to the other side, curving around to close it. And I do the same thing on the other side. I curve around, and I stop short. That space in between is going to be connected by a flattened smile line. And these are just his front paws, so I'm going to add in a little detail. So I'm going to add a few little lines inside so it looks like Pete's paws. And the way he's sitting, we're actually not going to see his back paws, so I'm not going to add that to the picture. I am going to add his tail though. So from the side of the paw, I'm going to make a line that comes straight out first. Then you want to curve it around and up. And I'm even going to take the curve in just a little more. So it almost looks like I made a C, but the bottom of it is flat. Next, you want to leave a little bit of a finger space on his paw and do that same shape again. Come out, curve up and around, and you want to end at the point. So now I've got Pete's body. Let's add in some details for his face. I'm going to come up in his face, and I'm going to start by making a V. I'm going to connect that V with a straight line so that I now have a triangle. I'm going to come up just a little more to draw his eyes, and I'll start with a flattened rainbow line, and I'm actually going to do two because I'm going to do both of his eyes at the same time. On the bottom, I'm going to add a smile shape on the bottom of both. On that top line, attached to it, I want to make another smile line. This one is short. And I do the same thing inside the other eye. Then I want to make a V shape inside both of those lines. And you want to darken in the eye and color it in so that it looks like Pete's eye and his little shine in his eye. So now I have my basic Pete the Cat. Next, let's add some spring details, including the little caterpillar friend from Pete's story. So to make the caterpillar, I'm just going to make small little circles that are attached to each other. And you can make your circles go any which way. You can make them come up the page, down the page. It's really up to you. This is going to be my cool little caterpillar. And I've done about 6 body segments. If you want to make more and make the caterpillar long, that's up to you. I think I'm going to add one more. And on that last one, I'm going to add a smile shape inside the circle. Then I'm going to do short, thin little rainbow lines on top. And I'm going to darken in the top for some eyes. And then I just come underneath all of the little circles or body segments, and I make 2 little lines coming out and 2 flat lines on the bottom for the caterpillar's legs. I also want to include some spring flowers, so on the side of my picture I'm going to make 2 thin lines right next to each other, curving up. I'm going to turn the paper, and I'll add a flattened rainbow line on top, and then kind of flattened smile lines to connect for the leaves on the flower. And then my first flower, I'm just going to make a U and then zigzag over to connect it. Now I'll make one more flower over here. This one's going to come up behind the caterpillar. So I start again with those 2 parallel lines. And because mine's going behind my caterpillar, I have to make the end come up over here. Now for this one, I'm going to leave a little bit of a space, and I'm going to make a flattened oval line. And then I just do those same rainbow and smile lines that are connected. And they're only pointing on one end. On the other side, I leave a little space in between. But I make that pattern going all the way around. So that I have a nice little flower. And it's really up to you what kind of flower you want to add. If you'd like to add 2 of these or 2 of these or both, it's up to you. But now I have my finished picture. Oh, I almost forgot one other thing. I want to add in Pete's whiskers. So I come to the side of his face and I just make some short little rainbow lines on both sides. And now my picture is finished. So let's color him in right now. Now that we've colored in our picture, let's go over some trick words. Remember, trick words, sight words, or know by heart words are words that you can't necessarily sound out. You have to memorize them. Let's take a look at our first one. Do you know this word? This word is who. Read it with me. Who. Let's spell it. W-H-O, and the word is who. Our next word is he. Read it with me. He. Let's spell it. H-E, and the word is he. Our next word is little. Read it with me. Little. Let's spell it. L-I-T-T-L-E, and the word is little. Our next word is see. Read it with me. See. Let's spell it. S-E-E, and the word is see. Our next word is can. Read it with me. Can. Let's spell it. C-A-N, and the word is can. The last word is the. Read it with me. The. Let's spell it. T-H-E, and the word is the. Now that we've practiced our trick words, let's get ready to write some sentences. Our sentences today are going to be our sentences today are going to be, who can Pete the cat see? he can see the little caterpillar. So we're writing 2 sentences. And I've also made a little label for the word caterpillar to go along with my little picture of the caterpillar. If you want to try sounding out the word caterpillar, that's absolutely fine too. I would just pause the video when we're doing our writing and you can sound it out the best you can. Remember, inventive spelling is fine. We're all learning at our own pace. So again, our first sentence is going to be, who can Pete the cat see? So our first word is going to be who. Do you remember how to spell who? We have to start with an uppercase letter, and it's W-H-O, who. Let's get our fingers ready to read. Who can? Do you remember how to spell the word can? Add a finger space and write C-A-N, can. Fingers ready to read. Who can Pete? Now, Pete is not a trick word. It is a word that we can sound out though. So let's say all the sounds that we hear in his name, Pete. P-E-T, Pete. The first sound that I hear in Pete is P. That's the letter P. E. That sounds like the letter E. So I'm going to add that to my writing. Eat. That T sound is the letter T. Eat. Pete. Only thing though, this actually says pet. In order to make this E say its name, I need some help from another vowel. I need a magic E on the end. And with many words, adding that magic E on the end gives all its power to the other vowel. So this E says nothing, but it allows the first vowel to say its name, in this case, the E. So now I have eat, Pete. And I used an uppercase letter because remember, we're writing a name. Pete is his name, and names are also always capital, even if we're writing in the middle of a sentence. Let's go back to the beginning and read. Who can Pete the? Do you remember how to spell the word the? Add a finger space and write T-H-E, the. Fingers ready to read again. Who can Pete the cat? Cat is not a trick word, but it is a word that we can sound out. So let's say all the sounds in cat together. Cat, k-a-t, cat. The first sound that I hear in cat is k, k. But before I write it, I also want to listen to that vowel sound, k, a. Now I know that a is an A. So normally I would write the k sound first, but I'm sure you know that there are 2 letters that make the k sound, C and K. If I'm writing a CVC word, a word with 3 sounds, and I'm using the vowel A, that k sound has to be a C. So that's just a little trick to help you when you're writing some words that have k at the beginning. If it has an A for a vowel, that k sound has to be a C. And the same thing goes if you are writing a word that has the vowel O in it as well. So let's say the sounds again. K, a, t. And that t sound is the letter T. So now I have all my sounds k, at, and I have the word cat. Let's go back to the beginning and read. Who can Pete the cat see? Do you remember how to spell the word see? Add a finger space. I'm actually running out of room, so I'm going back to the left and write S-E-E-C. let's go back to the beginning and read. Who can Pete the cat see? This is the end of my first sentence, so I need some type of punctuation. Do you know what I should use? If you said a question mark, you're correct. We're asking a question. Who is it that Pete the cat sees? And we know that the answer is going to be that he sees that little caterpillar. So let's write our next sentence. He can see the little caterpillar. I'm starting my new sentence, and my first word is he. Do you remember how to spell the word he? I'm adding a little finger space, and again, I have to start with an uppercase letter because this is the start of a new sentence, and I write H, E, he. Fingers ready to read that second sentence. He can. Do you remember how to spell the word can? We wrote it earlier, so I'm gonna add a finger space and spell it again. C-A-N, can. Fingers ready to read that second sentence. He can see. Do you remember how to spell the word see? That's another word that we wrote earlier. So add a finger space and write S-E-E-C. Fingers ready to read again. He can see the. Do you remember how to spell the word the? Another word that we used earlier. So add that finger space and write T-H-E, the. Fingers ready to read again. He can see the little. Do you remember how to spell the word little? I'm running out of room, so I'm going back to the left, and I'm going to write L-I-T-T-L-E, little. Fingers ready to read again. He can see the little caterpillar. Now, if you think you'd like to sound out the word caterpillar, you should pause the video here and listen to the syllables caterpillar and try sounding it out by each syllable. But if you're not quite ready for that, you can use the label that I created that matches up with the little caterpillar that I drew in the picture. Add a finger space and add that word caterpillar to your sentence. And if you're copying the label, you can always pause the video to finish copying it. But right now, let's get our fingers ready to read that sentence. He can see the little caterpillar. I've come to the end of my second sentence. Do you know what I need to stop my sentence? If you said a period, you're correct. Another punctuation that we could use is an exclamation mark. I think that Pete might be very excited to see his little friend the caterpillar, so I'll make an exclamation mark. That also stops our sentence. It just stops it in an excited way. And now that we have all of our writing done, we can go back and read. Let's go all the way back to our first sentence. Fingers ready to read? Who can Pete the cat see? He can see the little caterpillar. I hope you enjoyed doing this lesson, and I hope you enjoyed drawing a picture of Pete the cat and his little caterpillar friend in the springtime. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.